Hello everyone, welcome to Roma Theory. It's Easter weekend. Hopefully we can celebrate Easter with a good win tomorrow evening in Torino against Torino. I'm gonna say it again because it's my trademark. I say this every time. It's the sentence which characterizes me. It's gonna be a tough game. I actually read many comments of you guys mocking me when I say this because I say this every game. I'm gonna say this again. Now, but jokes aside, I think it's not gonna be the easiest of games because these are two very similar sides. These are two very similar sides in a way that both Torino and Roma don't play spectacular football. And when you've got two teams which are very similar to each other who don't play bright football, not only it makes the game a very dull game to watch, but it also makes the game a tense game because the teams are understand each other and all of that. And also because Torino and Roma are very well known for making the opponents play bad. Both we and them play in a way which irritate the opponents and kind of make our opponents play in a bad way. And that's exactly where I want to start with Torino. They are 10th in the league. They are halfway through the league, halfway through the table. They've done an average season. That's what a club like Torino has to do. Torino is nowhere close relegation, nowhere close Champions League, and that's where they belong. I think they've got some interesting players. In fact, I actually think their big players are Vlasic, who plays in the Croatian national team, had a pretty good World Cup. And then obviously the one we were speaking about yesterday, who Mourinho would really want in his team at Roma, it's the fullback called Singo. Singo is incredible. The amount of money I'd pay to get Singo is something unrealistic. Because I think that's the player we need. But we're not here to speak about him. If you want to know about him, go back and check yesterday's live stream. Very similar sides, which don't play bright football, which force the opponents into irritation. That's what we're very capable of doing, especially when Mancini is on that pitch. And they are very similar to us. So look, I am going to start this match preview by asking everyone in this stream right now a big question, which is a question which Mourinho will ask himself over the course of the entire month of April and the entire month of May. And we've come at this stage where this question automatically comes up in our head. And the question is, we are where we are in the Serie A. We can get top four. Inter lost points again, so it's a big chance for us. And we are where we are in the Europa League. We've fought to get in the last eight of the Europa League, and we are into valid positions in both tournaments. Therefore, it's very tempting to ask each other at this stage of the season, which game is the most important game? Which game is the game I want to see my team with a complete lineup? Which game is the game where I want to see my team play better? And the automatic answer is both games. And yes, that's the answer everybody wants. But unfortunately, when you lack squad depth and when you don't have a great B team, you kind of, at a certain stage, have to go with what you want to achieve more, what you prefer. And the big question which I want to ask everyone in the stream right now is, which game do you think is the most important game? Torino tomorrow or the first leg of the Feyenoord game on Thursday in the Europa League? And that's the first question which I would love everyone here to answer, because I think it reflects on the predicted 11. It reflects on the attitude of the team and how the team steps up tomorrow. Both games are important, but I'm kind of contradicting what I just said. I think the top priority remains top four. I think Europa League, we're there in the Europa League. We want to give it our all best, but I don't know, both games are so important, I can't pick. Because look, the first leg is way more important than the second leg in Europa League, and the first leg is next week. And we can't lose points in the Serie A, especially now that Inter especially now that Inter lost points. We can celebrate Easter in top 4. It would help a lot when it comes to morale and momentum. I don't know. I'll be honest here. Looking at single-handedly looking at the Torino game tomorrow and the Feyenoord first leg, I think the first leg is more important because much of our qualification in the semis of the Europa League passes through the first leg. If we can get a good result in the Netherlands in a tough stadium, it's I'm not saying almost done, but yeah. However, I don't want to speak about Feyenoord. We'll speak about Feyenoord next week. So yeah, that's the question which has to be analysed. And after having answered this question, I think it's fair to move on to the predicted 11. First thing first in the predicted 11. I know a lot of people look at this predicted 11 and you probably go, what the hell? Did Simon just remove Pellegrini from the predicted 11? What just happened? I have removed him from the predicted 11 because he will play 100% on Thursday. Therefore, it's more of a reason to rest him this game because he's gonna start on Thursday. If you see what I mean. On Thursday, in the Netherlands, at the De Kuip Stadium in Rotterdam, Pellegrini is gonna be your captain and is gonna start the game. As a matter of fact. Give me any piece of paper you want and I can sign my paper on it. Which kind of pulls me around and goes, right, seeing the fact that he's gonna be there on Thursday, I'm gonna rest him in this game. Can it happen? Yes, it can. Will it happen? Probably not, because Mourinho loves Pellegrini and Mourinho would start Pellegrini in every game. But I think we're at that stage of the season where rotations are important, especially if we want to compete in both tournaments, which we have to do. If we want to go well in both tournaments, the Europa League and the Serie A, I think, the rotations have to be made. I'm resting Pellegrini in this game. I'm resting Tammy Abraham in this game because he's not been playing well. And I think Belotti has a taste of his past when it comes to Torino. He knows the players we'll be facing. He knows Torino's tactics. He had Juric as a manager last season. So I think Belotti could do something tomorrow. In fact, I'm going to call it Belotti to score a goal. Because I think as much as it is going to be an emotional roller coaster for him, he spent a lot of time in that club. He knows that club really well. He knows the ambience. He knows the environment. He knows the stadium. He knows the players. He knows the coach. He knows the tactics. So Belotti is going to start tomorrow. Moving on to my predicted 11, the other question which is probably there to be answered is, do we shift back to 4 defenders like we did against Sampdoria and scored 3 goals, or do we still play with 3 defenders? That is one of those questions which, if I had to pick, I'd go with a 4 defenders at the back, because I think we've scored 3 goals in the Sampdoria game. It could mean good things, but it's not going to happen. It really is not going to happen. Mourinho is going to get back with 3 defenders at the back. And basically every newspaper source is confirming this, especially because our 3 defenders are back. Smalling, Ibanez and Mancini are back. However, you look at the lineup, and I've gone, Ibanez is going to rest, and I'm putting Llorente. I'm putting Llorente because it's normally typical for Jose to have a lot of, to start a player, which he applauded, and he had a lot of compliments towards him in the Sampdoria interview post-game. He shared a lot of good words on Llorente's behalf, and I think he's going to start him again. To give Ibanez a rest, and to give Ibanez resettling after that Derby catastrophe. So Llorente, Smalling and Mancini is going to be the defense. Mancini's leadership is back. Mancini's aggression is back. My 4 midfielders, I have gone with Zalewski and Spina on the 2 fullbacks. And then in the middle, I've gone with Gini because he's on fire. He played a really good game against Sampdoria last weekend. And then the other one is the mystery. Because, you see, I want Matic because Matic is playing really well. But then you look at Matic's age and you look at the important game we have on Thursday where we will have to defend the game. We'll have to defend the result there. And we need someone with Matic experience. Therefore, I'm going to start Cristante in this. And then up front, Dybala, El Shaarawy, who can give a good sense of momentum to his goal. Great goal, which he scored last weekend. And Belotti up front, as discussed before. Big players to look out in their team. I'd say Singo on the fullback because he's fast, but Spina, no, sorry, not Spina. Yeah, I think Spina's got him, and he's fast too. And I think the other dangerous players are Karamo. However, I don't think he'll start this game because I was reading he has a little injury. Sanabria, he used to play a Roma strike. He used to be a Roma striker. He's their main striker, but I think Mancini, Smalling, and Llorente in this case could easily pocket him. They're a good team. They don't play great football. They're like us. I think they're like us, but we're obviously a better team. So it's not going to be an entertaining game. In fact, betting tip of the week. I'm going to start giving one betting tip for every match preview. If anyone likes betting here, under. It's going to be an under goal. It's going to be an under game, meaning there won't be many goals. I'd say 0-0, 0-1, 1-1, 1-0 are probably going to be the most likely results. That's if you like betting. But yeah, moving on. I think the tactical things we've talked about. Look, I think we cannot play this game focusing on Feyenoord. We really cannot play this game focusing in on Feyenoord because Feyenoord has got its own attention after this game. The second the referee blows the whistle, then the focus has to be shifted to Feyenoord, but not before the game. Because, if we do that, we lose points. And we cannot lose points right now. We really cannot lose. You look at the league right now. You look at the table right now. I have never seen a more entertaining top four clash in the Serie A in these past years. Lazio 55 points, they're playing Juventus. Milan 51 points. Inter 51 points, and they played 1 hour ago and drew 1-1. Roma 50 points, Atalanta 48 points, Juventus 44 points. That is unpredictable. Lazio could collapse if they lose against Juventus. Milan could start a great streak after their win against Napoli, and if they win tonight against Empoli at home. Inter are living a black crisis. Roma is very inconsistent. Atalanta are playing a very tough game against Bologna, such an underestimated side. And then Juventus, who are playing against Lazio. I think the Lazio-Juventus game would mean so much. It's the attention to that Lazio-Juventus game tomorrow evening is just so important for our top four race. So important. Because out of that game, what can happen out of that game is that if Lazio win, then we can cut Juventus out of the top four race because they've lost against us. If they lose against Lazio, how do they get? Maybe not cut them off, but definitely not the likeliest. If Lazio win, I think Champions League is confirmed, and then it changes day in and day out. It really is. What I want tomorrow is a win. What I want tomorrow, I don't care how we win. Could be a 1-0 with an own goal, but I don't care how we win. I just want to celebrate Easter being in that top four. And if we are there in the top four, then we can also massively prepare the attitude for Feyenoord. This game is a crucial game. Every game is a crucial game. But after this game, we have got Europa League back. We still have to play Milan, Inter, Atalanta. It's kind of the doorway to Narnia, The doorway to Narnia. That's what this game is. Criminal, bombastic side-eye. That's what I want to see. But yeah, that's my match preview. Simon, one dream signing and one realistic signing you want. That's a tough question. Dream signing would probably be Kante on a free or Vlahovic, because Juventus are going to sell Vlahovic this summer, 100%. So that dreams, but yeah, dreams. And realistic, I'd probably go either Ziyech or Amrabat from Fiorentina, which I think is a beast. If we loan out Mu, Will we make any profit if we loan out Mourinho? What? Every game is at the same importance at this point. I agree. I still think top 4 is the priority because the chances we Man U to get into the UCL is slim. Top 4 is their best chance at that, so they cannot save any energy for Thursday. They have to win tomorrow. Ideally, we'll put them to bed early so we can rest starters in the second half. And I think that's the plan of tomorrow. So back in better than Belotti. Paiwand Sal says Rui Patricio, Smalling, Mancini, Ibáñez, Zalewski, Spina, Matic, Cristante, Dybala, Pellegrini. Melissa non capisce what. If we go back to 3 at the back, we lose. But since we know Jose, it's likely to happen. Torino is a tough game. I really fear defeat. I really fear defeat too. Ti prego, parla in italiano. Così parla in inglese, amica. Amico o amica. Si chiama Melissa, quindi amica. Sì. Yeah, it's a tough game. It's a tough game because they make us play bad and we make them play bad. And when you've got a tense game, irritation is at its max. Red cards and all of that. But yeah, look, I will catch you tomorrow for the live watch along. It's the day before Easter. God knows what happens. I mean, hopefully they are already kind of focusing away from having a break. Like, hopefully they really don't focus on Easter. Hopefully they don't focus on eating that turkey, because you can't. You gotta get the 3 points tomorrow. So yeah, live watch along tomorrow. If you haven't already, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, do all of the things below. It's free of cost. It really is. When I say it, I really mean it. So you just have to click. Just use your cursor and just go tack, tack, tack. On the red button, on the thumbs up button, on the bell button. Everything you want. Follow me on Instagram over there in the red box. And yeah, let me read a few last comments. Melissa fa morta. We don't have the quality to fight in both Europe and domestic top 4. If anyone can manage that, it will be Jose. So let's hope for the best, says Big Lebowski. Yeah, catch you soon. Set a reminder tomorrow. Live watch-alongs or indeed back. Simon out.